What's going on YouTube? As you guys know, it is Friday, so the roster update did come out today. And what does that mean? That means not only do we have brand new diamonds and a bunch of upgrades, but today is the best time to reinvest, get into the market, and get some of these cards that did not go up at their lowest quick sell price for the next roster update in 2 to 3 weeks. So today is the best time to invest in cards so you can make millions of stubs in the next roster up. Let's go and take a look at the roster update this week and some cards that we're still invested in or we might be thinking about investing in again during this roster update period. So as you can see on the screen, Ryan Helsley, Max Fried, Sandy Alcantara, Nico Horner, and Will Smith are your new diamonds. And if we go to the roster update, that's not all. Shohei Ohtani stays the same. Aaron Judge gets a -2. Significant contact and power decreases against righties, some boost against lefties. Mike Trout, -10 contact versus right, -12 contact versus left. Power downgrades as well. Poor Mike Trout. Paul Goldschmidt goes down 1. Jose Ramirez goes down 3. Mookie Betts goes down 1. Matt Scherzer goes +1. McClanahan gets a 90+. Corbin Burns gets 91. And a few other guys go down. Acuna -3. That's another big one. As we go through these, Manny Machado -3. Edwin Diaz is a +2. Joe Musgrove got a +1. Ryan Helsley got a +2. He's an 86 overall. So if you guys had some of him, he went to an 86 overall quick sell. So that's really good. Max Fried gets a nice +1 boost. Will Smith +1. Vlad Guerrero -2. Sandy gets that +1 finally. If he strikes out more guys, I can see him going higher. I don't really invest too much in diamonds, but if he starts striking out guys, expect a K per 9 boost. He does have a lot of improvement in that K per 9. So keep in mind, if he's only quick sell value, you could sneak in there, get him at quick sell value at 3K if he's striking out a lot of guys. Nico Horner went up. That was a shocker, but he got a huge contact boost, which put him above to the diamond threshold. And that's basically because he's got diamond fielding and he's got really good speed. So it was easy for him to get a boost. All he needed is a boost to that contact, and he got significant boost and a little bit of power too versus lefties, which was kind of nice. Tim Anderson almost goes gold. Anthony Rizzo gets a +1. Laze got a +2, guys. One thing about the roster updates this year is they don't have to go diamond for you guys to make a profit because they don't quick sell at 1,000 stubs. Each tier is different. So you could have got Clase at 900 stubs. Now he's worth 1,500 stubs. You could make 600 stubs per Clase that you kept. So Clase was a good one. I would definitely look at him. Zach Wheeler didn't go nowhere. He got -2, -5, and some pluses. So he stayed the same. Gosselin was a huge one. You got in him at what, 81 overall, 600 stubs. He is now worth 1,500 stubs minimum. Christian Javier, same thing. He went from 600 to 1,200 stubs. Quick sell. Julio Rodriguez went some silver and got a huge jump to an 83 overall. So you can got him for 200, 300, 400 stubs because I know he was on like almost like the gold price. And then he's now worth 1,200 stubs. So that was a huge bump. Austin Riley, same thing. He was an 80 overall. So 400 stubs. Now he's worth 1,200 stubs. Huge right there. Clay Holmes doesn't go nowhere. Nestor Cortez gets a -1 expected. David Bednar got a -1 expected. His last few outings were terrible. Tommy Edman -2. Spencer Strider, another 79 to 83 overall. So if you invest in some Spencer Striders, that man's worth 1,200 stubs now. He was 2 to 300. So keep that in mind. Dylan Cease +1. Wilson Contreras got a -1. I didn't think he was going to go diamond, but I also didn't think they were going to give him a -1. He got -15 contact versus lefties, but he was batting like 200 or under 200 in this last roster update session of the 2 or 3 weeks. So it does make sense. I just didn't think they were going to pull the trigger on that one. Taylor Rogers goes gold. Adolis Garcia -1. Luis Severino got a +1. After his last outing, I did not think that they give him a +1. I sold mine at 900 stubs. I made a mistake. I only made 300 stubs per. I could have held him and made it another 300, but we still made profit. So that's okay. But it just sucks because I could have doubled my stubs. I got 246,000 for quick selling 82. I could have got like close to 400 to 500,000 for quick selling as many as I had. I had almost 400 Luis Severinos. So that kind of is a feel bad thing. He got a +6 to clutch, +2 to stamina, +2 +4 to hits per nine. The stamina and the pitching clutch, those are like attributes they don't touch very often. So that's why it kind of came to a surprise that they touched those attributes and we weren't really expecting it. Next one was Jonah Heim, +3. Very nice. Went from a 400 quick sell to a 1200 quick sell. So that's huge. CJ Chrome -2. He is now gold. Brandon Drury is a guy that you invested in at 81 overall. So 600 stubs is where you wanted to get him. He is now worth 1200. I would probably sell him. A few people have been saying, including Ansel Armstrong. Shout out to him. If you guys don't know his channel, man, he has some great roster update predictions. I get a lot of my info from him as well as looking up some of my own information. His link will be down in the description down below if you want to check him out. Brandon Drury, though, I would probably quick sell. I think he's probably reached his ceiling. I mean, unless he does really, really well against righties, but then he has to keep it up against lefties. Honestly, if you invest in this guy at 1200 stubs, I'd probably be getting rid of him. Francisco Starling Marte went up 1. We got a few others in here. Paul Sewald, guys I probably wouldn't have had. Carlos Correa went up 1. That's good. Marcus Semien went up 1. Robbie Ray kind of got done dirty. I keep Robbie Ray all day. He only went up +1. So I'm only going to be making, he went from a 600 quick sell to a 900 quick sell. I only made 300 per. I have about 80 or 90 of these. So that is a lot of stubs still. But at the same time, I think he's still going to pitch well. As long as he continues to pitch well, I will not quick sell him. I will keep him. If he pitches terrible the next 2 weeks, I'm probably going to quick sell him at that 900. But as a guy I'm going to hold, I'm not going to quick sell today. I'm going to see how he does, see if he might get an upgrade. Even with Drury, you could still do that. You don't have to quick sell him now. Make sure that you pay attention to how he's playing. If you think he's playing up to against those lefties still, fine. And if he's playing better against righties, maybe you still hold. So just keep that in mind. Those are guys that you want to look at. Another one is, nope, not Christian Walker. Chris Bryant went gold. Luis Castillo went gold. Devin Williams got a +1. Johan Duran did not do anything. He got a few minuses, but a few pluses. But I still like him, so might reinvest into him and see how he does in the next couple weeks. Luis Urias went up 1. He got a -13 to home runs per 9. So he needs to lay off giving up a lot of those home runs. Stamina went down and his per 9 went down a little bit. If he strikes out some batters, so if he starts striking out people, watch out. He could go up. Josh Naylor went up to a goal. Luis Garcia went up. Dancy Swanson went up 1. Ty France went down 2. Jason Adams went gold. I mean, there are so many. Over 20 plus changes. Jose Abreu is another guy that I was invested in. He did go +1 and got him around 400, 500 stubs. He's only worth 600 now. I'm still going to hold. Hope he still continues to play well and he gets another upgrade. Alejandro Kirk went up 1. That's a guy I was upgraded in, but I do not have any more of him. Zach Gallen -2. Expected. Brooks Raley went up +1. And there should be a few more golds. Corey Seager went from a 77 to an 80 overall. He is now back in gold. Jorge Polanco +3. Went up to gold, 400 quick sell. A lot of gold guys. Sir Anthony Dominguez went gold. William Contreras from the Braves went gold. That was a good one. JT Realmuto went back gold. Xander's barely holding on to gold. Kopech's barely holding on to gold. Christian Vasquez went gold. And that is it. Let's just take a look at some of these cards. But guys, you probably want to still look at, I mean, honestly, Yankees pitchers are a good one. Nestor Cortez is a good one to look at if he starts playing well. Clay Holmes, phenomenal. He should go down in price, so you could probably reinvest in him. I know he was going over for 2,000 stubs because people thought he was going to go diamond. He did not. Same with Michael King, guy that you can get a quick sell value already again. So these pitchers start still pitching well. Luis Severino, he goes up, but he can still go diamond. So those are guys that you definitely want to keep an eye on. Next guy would be Kevin Gausman. I think is another one that you can probably get at 600 stubs and be fine with that. Another guy that we want to look at, like I say, Jose Abreu's 101 of them. Definitely keeping them. Dylan Cease, another guy you might want to look at maybe. Emmanuel Clase, if he goes back down in like 1,500, 1,600 stubs, could be a guy. I know it's hard for relievers to get upgrades. But if he starts striking out guys, Ks per 9 is what we're looking at from Emmanuel Clase. That's where you want to grab him. With the Jose Abreu, we're looking at power versus right, contact versus right, contact versus left. I mean, he gets a +14 to power versus left and contact versus left and boosts him up to an 83. So if he can get that power versus right up and some contacts, we can see him going up. Johan Duran, same situation. He's got to work on those home runs per 9, but he has room for hits per 9, K per 9, and walk per 9 upgrades. Julio Rodriguez just did get an upgrade, but Julio Rodriguez and Robbie Ray are guys that still can possibly go up or even go diamond. So keep an eye on them for getting upgrades and what they need. Just go ahead and check. Robbie Ray's got a lot of room to upgrade. Hits per nine, Ks per nine, walks per nine, home runs per nine could all get boost, especially that Ks per nine and hits per nine. That's what's going to go up the most when these guys get upgraded. So those are the two categories you want to keep an eye on for improvements. Now, if he had like 100 hits per nine, 100 Ks per nine, it'd be hard for him to go up. But because those hits per nine and Ks per nine are so low, I can see him going up. As you can see, a +4 to hits per nine and a +4 to Ks per nine, and he goes up to an 84 overall. So he's on that cusp that he just needs a small little upgrade, and he'll be diamond, or at least like two tiers higher than what he is right now. That's a +4 to hits per nine and Ks per nine, gives him a +2 in his overall. That's actually crazy to see that he's really that close to an 84 overall, and that's why I'm gonna hold him. Julio Rodriguez, he's playing up to a plus to an 85. He's playing up to a diamond, and that's with a +10 to contact versus right and a +10 to power versus right. So if he plays very well against righties or lefties for that matter, and he can get a huge upgrade or an upgrade to like a +5 for each category, I could totally see him going diamond in the next roster update. So if you can get him at 1,200 stubs, I know his buy now is 19, but his sell now is 1,288. If you can get around that 1,200, 1,300 stubs, could be a solid investment. As I feel like if he plays well, and his price will just go up anyways. He'll hit that 2,000, close to that 2,500 mark. You can just sell him off and make profit, just basically flipping him. Because if he plays well, the hype always can sell off the hype, guys. You don't have to wait and see if they get upgraded. Corey Seager's another guy. Like if for some reason he turns the season around the second half of the season, Corey Seager could be diamond. Look at that room for improvement. Contact versus right, contact versus left, power versus right, power versus left is pretty good already. So those contact and power versus right numbers, those are room for improvement for sure. Those are where we could see him get the biggest upgrades. Travis d'Arnaud is another guy I could totally see getting upgrades. And plus, we also still have not had a fielding upgrade. So any of these guys are doing well in the field. There is a fielding upgrade that's going to be coming probably after the All-Star break. Expect these guys to get upgrades in their fielding attributes as well. And if you look at Travis d'Arnaud, contact versus right, power versus right, could give him a huge boost. A +12 to contact versus left and a +12 to power versus left brings him up to an 84 overall. So if he can get that versus right, he could bring up his overall. So we have to pay attention to how he's doing against that side of the plate. Zach Wheeler's another guy. You know, if he pitches well, maybe he finally gets that boost. He's probably not that far off. Hits per nine, Ks per nine. Can see a lot of improvement there. If he's not getting up hits and he's striking out a lot of batters, it's a guy that will go up in price very quickly over hype. Juan Soto didn't get touched this update as well, but his price is already pretty high, so a little bit more risky investment. But it's a guy that I think be a diamond right now, and he's not. Wilson Contreras, it's hard for him. He's got to play against righties better. +7 brings him back to an 84, but he's just got to play against righties a lot better. Brandon Drury, that's what, like I said, that's what we're looking at. Contact and power versus right is what we're going to be looking at for him. Anyways, those are the guys that we're looking at to reinvest in and invest in, and just see how they're and see how they perform over the next couple weeks. Remember, there is a fielding upgrade that should be coming either after the All-Star break. I don't know exactly when it's coming, but it should definitely be coming. But that's the roster update for you guys. Those are all the upgrades. We didn't really go over a lot of the downgrades besides the Trouts and stuff. Don't really care too much about the downgrades as much, but those are all the upgrades in this roster update, and the guys that we're selling, the guys that we're holding to see if they go higher, and then just reinvest in some of the other guys that did not go up that are still playing well that we think can still possibly go up if they have a good couple weeks. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy it, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and turn those post notifications on so you guys don't miss out on any videos. Until next time, thank you for watching.